Hello AOS fans, Robin here, and today I have a 5 reasons to read video for you. And the book this week is called The Bells. It's not a reworking of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's a totally new book, an original book by Dhonielle Clayton, and it's set, I think, to cause a bit of a stir. It's a great book. It's published by Galance, and it's going to be $10.99 trade paperback, and I'm guessing it's probably got a separate US publisher. I'm not sure who that is. Perhaps get Pete to flash that up and how much it's going to be in the US. And this is a really great book. I'm not sure white middle-class English men are its main target audience, but I thought this was pretty great. I imagine it probably more appeal to younger sort of females, like the writer is a younger female. But anyway, I thought this was a really good book. And why? Well, here we go. Here are my 5 reasons to read The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton. Number one is the concept. I really love the concept, and it's about, because the concept really is beauty and the power of beauty and the society's obsession with it. And it follows on, I think, in a deeper way, where Scott Westerfeld's Uglies series of books sort of left off. But it's much more visceral than that. That was a very glossy, kind of Facebook sensitized world almost. There might have even been pre-Facebook, but that's my recollection of it. It's kind of like a reality TV version of the world. This is far grittier, feels more real, even though it's set in a totally different world called Orleans, and it's kind of in there that there's the goddess of beauty, and she has given her blessing to these bells, whose job it is to make people beautiful. And there's the mythology is that everybody who hasn't been made beautiful, that normal people are just grey, and the bells are required to imbue the people with magic to make them beautiful. So beauty carries a huge cachet in this world, and I really like the concept. So that's the high concept. So that's the first reason. And reason two is the deeply evocative descriptions that Dhonielle Clayton uses. The world is a grubby, grimy, decadent place full of rich people who can play to be beautiful and who are obsessed with beauty all the time, and judge people on their beauty, and you kind of wonder how all this is all paid for, and then it's paid for by these invisible grey they're called, the grey people, and you don't really see them. They're not really in the novel very much, but they're sort of there in the background, this undertone or overtone almost of privilege, and this sort of undertone of people we don't see in the book out in the outside world. So that's kind of the backdrop of it, and then all that is based on so all that feeds into the fears, the hopes, and the dreams of the characters in the book, and a lot of that is tied around beauty. And then the other thing that's tied around beauty is this I put it in inverted commas, magic system. This is a magical world that the bells can transform these people. They do it through magic. They can actually physically transform, like literally elongate the bones, twist the features, change the colour of the hair, make the hair go really long. Like, it is actually magical, and that's all brilliantly put together, and the whole kind of hierarchy of how that all works is brilliantly put together, really evocative and really quite different. I mean, I don't read a lot of, I suppose I would say, modern fantasy or urban fantasy, which I guess tends to lean towards written by females for females. Maybe that's a bit of a generalization. I don't read a lot of that sort of stuff, but this I found this, so I don't know how original it is, but I found it deeply original, this world that's fantasy but yet not a high fantasy world, and this magic system, which is not all about spells and arcana or all that kind of thing. This sort of deeply personal, transformative magic system. I really like that in the book. And kind of all those things in 1 and 2 feed into 3. So reason 3 is the deconstruction of beauty and what it means. And this, I suppose, really is the crux of the book. It's staggering how well this is done. It's a kind of really, as you read it, you kind of, it's not I wouldn't say it's a thinly veiled metaphor. That makes it sounds derogatory. It's a really great metaphor for how we use beauty in this world as a cudgel, as a bludgeon, as a way of judging people, and how the importance we place on it, and how trivial it is. Really, deep down, how trivial it is. I mean, it's not trivial because we make it so big, and it has deeply psychological effects on the people who are judged on their beauty. But in actual fact, how somebody looks is a very trivial, literally skin deep thing. And I really like how that comes out in this book. How the society here in the Bells judges beauty, and how really that mirrors exactly how we do it in this world. Again, I'm not really, my days of sort of worrying about how I look kind of past me a little bit. And I am what I am, but I think I'm unusual maybe these days in feeling like that, and the pressure of the media. The media are huge in this book. The pressure of the media, and the way people in this book, they're literally altered in the media. They're airbrushed and all that kind of thing. It's all so cleverly done, and it's a really, really good reading. So that is reason 3. Reason 4, all of that makes the book incredibly thought-provoking. So in fantasy books, not always that thought-provoking. This one really is, and I suppose really it's an extension of reason 3. But yeah, this book will really make you think about your world, the world around you, how you feel about yourself, how you judge other people based on how they look or what they do and don't do with their beauty products. There's no actual there are beauty products in this book, and they're magical beauty products, but they really are informed by modern beauty products and the claims made by beauty products and all that kind of stuff, what they can and can't do for you. And at what point do you become, should you be satisfied with how you look? Some people are never satisfied with how they look, and that's a deep shame. And in this book, it really comes out how important, or how, again, so how, not how trivial it is, trivialise that, but how superficial that is, and how somebody can really be judged by how they look, and how people use it to their advantage and to gain power over people by belittling them and all that kind of thing. It's all in here. Really good stuff. So the final reason is reason 5. So reason 5 is that it's a shocking book. It really is very shocking indeed, both in plot terms and in sort of analysis of humanity and human nature. It's pretty ugly reading for a book about beauty, but then also it does shock you. The actual story shocks you. I read to about 100 pages is normally how much I like to give a book before I kind of really decide whether I'm going to like it or not. And this book, it was like first 100 pages, tum-ty-tum, this is quite nice, and it really is literally like a roller coaster. A bit in the roller coaster, you go up, and it's like, this is all right, and you sort of go around the top and go, okay, well, that's quite a nice view, that's quite, this is pleasant, and then suddenly it just goes whoosh. Well, that is exactly what The Bells is like, and then it's pretty much sort of squeaky bum time right away through to the end of the book. But why I say it's shocking is that you think you know some of the characters, you think you know which side they're on, and you don't really at all, and it's very cleverly masked and some good twists, and so it has real shocks, as well as sort of being a slightly shocking expose of modern life, all in a decent, really wrapped fantasy novel. So that is The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton. There are my 5 reasons to read it. I haven't read a book this good for quite some time, one that captured me and made me think all at the same time. So I would thoroughly recommend that. The tagline here is "Beauty can be deadly," and I don't know how. I know Dhonielle Clayton has written other stuff too, but she's got a long career ahead of her. She can keep writing books like this. This is, I would say, the first book in at least. There's going to be at least one more, possibly more. And it's very, very enjoyable indeed. So there it is. So that was my 5 reasons to read The Bells. If you have read it, do tell me what you think. If you have read other similar books, if you like the Uglies books by Scott Westerfeld, then do comment below what sort of things you like reading. And until next time, we'll see you then. Okay, goodbye. Bye.